Welcome to this video log on Unveiling Jesus Christ. I'm John Castanet, and I'll be your tour guide for the next 6 or 7 minutes. Today we're at the Valley of the Queens on the west bank of the Nile River opposite Luxor, Egypt. On our tour today, you'll get to see several tombs with carvings, engravings, and paintings that are pretty typical of all the tombs in the valley. This artwork was created by the workers that lived in the village of Deir el-Medina that we already saw in my earlier video log from January 10, 2025. Queens, princesses, and other high-ranking officials were buried in the Valley of the Queens. The pharaohs were buried in the, wait for it, Valley of the Kings. So the Valley of the Queens was known anciently as Ta Set Neferu, which means the place of beauty and or the place of the royal children. Excavations in the Valley of the Queens were pioneered in the early 1900s. The main wadi or valley contains 91 tombs, and subsidiary valleys add another 19 tombs. The burials in the subsidiary valleys date to between 1550 and 1292 BC. The tombs generally consist of a chamber and a shaft leading down to the chamber for burial. Here you can see a mummified dog that was found inside the tomb, and outside something that looks slightly mummified, but that's still a living creature. Some tombs were extended in size to accommodate more than one burial. Between 1292 and 1189 BC, the use of the valley became more selective. The tombs belonged exclusively to royal women. Many of the high-ranking wives of Ramses I, Seti I, Ramses II were buried here. The most well-known burial was of Queen Nefertiti, who lived between 1290 and 1224 BC. Unfortunately, her tomb was closed during the time of our visit. Several tombs were prepared without an owner in mind. The names were included upon the death of the royal female. There are reports of tomb robberies in the 11th century BC, which seems to coincide in time with when the valley was no longer a royal burial site. Many of these tombs were also extensively reused and modified for multiple burials. During the Roman period, there was a renewed and extensive use of the valley as a burial site. During the Coptic period, or the period of Christian Egyptians, there were some hermit shelters erected in the tombs, and the engravings were altered. For example, tombs QV60 and QV73 show Coptic occupation, where the wall scenes were covered with plaster and decorated with Christian symbols. The Christian presence lasted until about the 7th century AD. So that gives you a little bit of an overview of what you can find in the Valley of the Queens by way of tombs and other information. I'll conclude with my remarks at this point and allow you to continue to watch some of the sights and scenes from the Valley of the Queens. As you get near to the end of the video, I also have a fun little segment where I was teasing around with one of the Egyptian tour guides who was in the tombs and showing people around. So I hope you enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you next time on a video log when we'll look at the Valley of the Kings.
It's 1 meter. It is here 1 meter. This granite. This is Momo from Cairo.
Careful, it might bite.
Yeah. No.
It's alive!
Have you seen the mummy?